What's going on, Laker fans? Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Another L for the Lakers. Lakers lose to the Golden State Warriors, 134 to 120, the final score. Two games I was not expecting. Was not expecting what happened to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Was not expecting what happened tonight to the Golden State Warriors. Unfortunately for the Lakers, there's an explanation for this, and I know most Laker fans don't want to hear the explanation, but there is an explanation. No Anthony Davis tonight. Obviously, that changes the entire game. No AD. The Golden State Warriors shot literally a historical percentage from the three-point line. Just incredible, ridiculous. That has a lot to do with the Lakers not playing any defense. We'll get a little bit into that as well. What the loss does for the Lakers in the standings, kind of what happens from here. Still a couple games left, believe it or not. Still a path for the Lakers to still even get to the number 6 spot, if I'm correct here. I guess there still is a path. I'll read you off something that came from Mike Trudell right after the game ended. But realistically for the Lakers, they're going to probably most likely be in one of these 9-10 spots. And the question's just going to be, how good does Golden State play the rest of the way? Are the Lakers and the Warriors tied when the season ends as far as record goes? And if they are, then the Warriors will have the tiebreaker and the Lakers would have to play on the road for 2 straight games. So we'll see what happens. Still kind of crazy enough. Still a lot of scenarios can still play out. But the worst scenario that you could possibly ask for is playing out so far, at least in these last 2 games. So we're going to get into it. If it's the first time you guys have been on the channel, where the hell have you been? The channel's been around for a while. Welcome. If you continue to come on the channel, thank you for doing so. Either way, if you have not subscribed yet to the channel, please do so. Underdog Fantasy, a proud partner of Hoops Talk and the post-game show here, a proud partner of the channel. I appreciate their partnership here. We're going to look at a couple games tomorrow. We'll make our picks a little bit later as well. So let's get the show started. By the way, I know we got a lot of comments. Shows like tonight usually have a lot of comments because a lot of people have an opinion. If you want to make sure your comment gets read, put it in the super chat. I'd obviously appreciate it. The channel would appreciate it. And I will 100% to get to every super chat that we have out there. Okay, let's get started. The big news coming into the game, it's really tough to talk about this game without talking about Anthony Davis not being in the game. It's just kind of a weird one to me. I didn't really know there was a possibility that AD wasn't going to play coming into the game. So let me just kind of go over the last couple of days real quick around the Lakers. First, you have a game on, what day was that? You got a day against the a game against the Minnesota Timberwolves on Sunday. And a couple hours before the game, it's announced, hey, Bron's not playing. Flu-like symptoms. It's like, wait a minute here. All right, that came out of nowhere here. Lakers just played the Cavs. Everything seemed great. Everything felt like it was good to go. I listened to LeBron post-game tonight. He was talking about what happened on Sunday. I guess he came to the gym or he came to the arena. He tried warming up, tried giving it a go, and it just wasn't going to happen. Tried going through his regular routine. It wasn't going to happen. He wasn't feeling good. So he left the arena and he went home. But the hype coming into the game against Minnesota and the momentum that it felt like the Lakers had, I was almost kind of sold here. I'm like, they're going to keep winning. I don't see a reason why they're not going to beat Minnesota. I don't see a reason why they're not going to beat Golden State Warriors. They're going to put themselves in a position. I don't see why they're not going to be a reason why they wouldn't beat the Memphis Grizzlies. Kind of probably going to come down to that Pelicans game of whether they could avoid the play-in tournament altogether. And once you get the news against Minnesota that Bron's not playing, it's like, okay, now we got a real game. First quarter ends. Anthony Davis plays 12 minutes, gets hit in the eye. AD's out the rest of the game. Well, that game was a wrap. You knew the Lakers weren't going to play. And coming into this game, I just kind of assumed that LeBron and Anthony Davis are both going to be back. Almost eerily similar as it was with the game on Sunday. You get word that, hey, Anthony Davis is not going to go. We actually got it. Darvin Ham was talking in front of the media, and he's the one that made the announcement. So nothing came out earlier. And I guess AD got to the arena, tried to give it a go. And the exact symptoms that he was feeling, headache and nausea. So I just kind of assumed maybe that had to do with the hit that he took to the head. But what they had said is that there is, I'm going to see the exact tweet here because I read it a little bit earlier. Had not gone through concussion protocol, so we knew that. Let me see here because I want to make sure I get one other thing right here because there was another quote that came out on Anthony Davis about playing these final 2 games. And Darvin Ham said, we'll see how Davis wakes up tomorrow. So I didn't know AD was questionable. I didn't know that he might not play in tonight's game. I don't think many people did. He didn't play. And the answer, at least for now, on the final couple of games, Lakers will obviously go on the road. Good thing is, I don't think they're going to travel tomorrow. I think they're going to travel on Thursday for Friday's game. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. But his status for the final 2 games, we'll see how Davis wakes up tomorrow. So, unfortunately for the Lakers, before the game even started, I don't know how you guys felt about this, but if Anthony Davis is not playing, the chances of the Lakers winning that game, not very good. Not very good. So my expectations just dramatically came down before the game even started. And, for AD, unfortunately, here's somebody that's played 70-plus games so far this year. We've been complimenting how – see the exact amount of games that he's played because I want to get the exact number right. We've been complimenting how available he's been. He's played 74 games this year. We've been complimenting how available he's been. And now you look at the game against the Golden State Warriors mid-March where he had to lead the game. His eye swells up. He's out for the rest of the game. Okay, it happens. Game against Minnesota, literally the exact same thing. Okay, it happens. And then this game, this is against the Golden State Warriors. Unfortunately, he's played 74 games, but the timing of these 3 games that he had to leave in the middle of the game or this game that he wasn't able to go are such critical games and critical losses. The Warriors now have the tiebreaker, and the Lakers now are going to need a little bit of help if they're able to kind of get out of the mess that they're in right now. Still hanging on to the number 9 seed, but damn, that was incredibly, incredibly disappointing. I'm not even talking about the game. I'm going to talk about the game. I'm going to get into the game. But for me, I thought the game was already over before the game even started. I really did. And I know for those that, I don't want to hear any excuses. They should have come out and then now you're not. The chances of you being the Golden State Warriors if Anthony Davis is not there, I was more frustrated and concerned that AD wasn't able to go in this game than I was the actual game because the game actually went exactly how I thought it would go without Anthony Davis. Now we can start talking a little bit about the game. So Lakers lose to the Warriors, 134-120. I know we got a lot of comments there, so I'll get to the comments in just a little bit. But let me talk a little bit about the game, and then we'll come back. We'll circle back around to that. So a couple thoughts here on the actual game. I heard probably 15 times during the post-game show that, Draymond Green hit 5 threes, and if he's going to hit 5 threes and go look at what he shoots percentage-wise, then, we played it the right way, but Draymond was just hitting his shots. I'm not saying that Draymond's 5 threes was why the Lakers I'm not saying that didn't have an impact on the game, but damn, did I not hear that 25 times in the post-game show that because Draymond hit 5 threes, that's why the Lakers lost the game. Okay, a couple things to that. Draymond's not a three-point shooter. I am with you. If Draymond Green's hitting threes, okay, it's a little bit of a shock. I get the game plan. I'm with everybody on that. But can we stop just pretending that Draymond Green was the only reason why the Lakers lost this game? Do you know that the Golden State Warriors from the three-point line, when I say historic from 3, I mean historic from 3, shot 26 of 41 from the three-point line. They had a better three-point percentage, 63.4%, than they did from twos, from the field. From the field, they shot 58.8%. By the way, those percentages are absurd. Absurd. 58.8% from the field and 63.4% from the three-point line. That is absolutely absurd. And if the Draymond Green situation was that bad, then go out and guard him. If the man is hitting, if he hits a couple in a row and it feels like he's in a groove, I don't want to, you kind of live and die with this. I don't want to hear Dante Exum hit 7 of 9 and Marcus Smart hit 8 threes against the Lakers. I'm just kind of listing all these different players that have had really good games against the Lakers, where the Laker game plan was let that guy shoot. Cool, let that guy shoot. I'm with you. Those percentages should play to your advantage. But if they're not playing to your advantage during the game, do something a little bit different. So I agree. Draymond's not supposed to hit 5 threes and go 5 of 7. But I also don't want to hear the Lakers complaining about it after the game. Everybody complaining about it after the game. If you don't do anything different on Draymond, like I understand, but if it's a couple and you're not comfortable with anymore, then go adjust and come up with something different. That's not the reason why the Lakers lost the game. They lost the game because they didn't play any defense. And the reason why they didn't play any defense is because their entire defense is Anthony Davis. Do you know the best way to define the most valuable player is when one of those players is not there and your team looks like a completely different squad without him. Of course, without Anthony Davis, the Lakers were going to struggle. So I don't think anybody should be shocked or surprised by what happened tonight without him. The moment they announced Anthony Davis was out of the game, the only shock tonight was going to be if the Lakers, if this was a 1 or 2 possession game with a few minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. I wasn't expecting that. I said that it is a historic night from the three-point line. The 21 or 26 of 41 from the three-point line. Draymond had 5. Wiggins had 3. Steph shot 6 of 6 from the three-point line. Clay was 5 of 10. Kuminga hit a 3. Chris Paul hit a 3. Gary Payton II hit a couple of threes. I mean, basically their entire squad was just unconscious from the three-point line. So give them the credit that they deserve. And I think for me, that's the only thing that really matters is you had a squad that basically understood. They tasted, they smelt blood in the water, and they were going to take advantage of it. That's what they do. Pajemski also as well. I forgot to even mention him. He was, how many threes did he hit? Let me double check here on how many threes he had. He was 3 of 3 from the three-point line. Everybody had opportunities. And listen, I'll say this and I'll say it again, and I know the Lakers just lost to the Warriors. I really believe the Lakers are a better team than the Golden State Warriors when Anthony Davis is on the floor. If Anthony Davis is on the floor and the Lakers got to play the Golden State Warriors in a one-game playoff, I'll take my chances. Now, if it's obviously in San Francisco, if it's in the Bay, I'm sure the Warriors are going to be favored by a little. And if it's in LA, I'm sure the Lakers are going to be favored by a little. That's probably how that's going to work out. But the Golden State Warriors, they tasted that there was an opportunity. I was talking to Anthony Slater, who covers the Golden State Warriors for The Athletic. He joined me in the pregame show with Michael Thompson. And him and I were chatting before the pregame show, just kind of having a conversation. He was telling me, he's like, look, if the Warriors win this game, they're going to do everything they can, obviously, to try to get at this number 10 spot. But if they lost the game, they probably would approach it. They probably would have approached it differently. They would have probably just said, okay, well, we're in the 10. We're in the 10. Probably rested a couple of their players. They probably took their foot off the gas and just got ready to go play 2 road games to try to get in the playoffs. That's how they would have approached it. But they certainly came into this game wanting to steal one, and they stole it primarily more than anything else because Anthony Davis wasn't there. So you saw their boys, and you saw what they were able to do. A lot of kind of a balanced attack for them. Anytime Clay goes off and he led the Warriors in scoring, then they're probably going to win the game. On the Lakers side, on the Lakers front of this, so Warriors go 26 of 41 from 3. You know, offensively for the Lakers, they hit 12 threes. They got cold towards the end there. They had runs where they would make it close, but every time Lakers would get it to 5, somebody would hit a back-breaking three. It was an Andrew Wiggins, or it was a Gary Payton, or it was Klay Thompson or Steph Curry or Draymond. They always had an answer for the Lakers. You're asking basically everyone to play almost perfect basketball, and that certainly didn't happen. I mean, Rui ended up with 20 points, 11 rebounds, but he took 21 shots, which is not usually a Rui Hachimura night. He was very inefficient from the field. Let's see what Jackson Hayes did. 11 points and 6 rebounds. A lot of complaining by the Lakers, by the way. A lot of complaining. There were possessions where Braun was just complaining and the Lakers would play zero defense. So that certainly didn't help. I saw Jackson Hayes, I felt like, was whining a lot. Reeves, I felt like, was looking at the referees a lot. So the Lakers maybe kind of just knew they weren't going to win the game. And because they weren't going to win the game, they were frustrated and frustrated at the referees at the same time. D'Lo, really bad night for him. 3 of 11, 2 of 7 from the three-point line, just 14 points, did have 7 assists. And one of the few games where Austin Reeves shot over 50%. He hasn't been doing that. 22 points, 8 assists. They did get a little bit of help off the bench from one player. That was Spencer Dinwiddie. Everybody else, nothing. So 120 points should be enough on offense, but when you don't have a defense and you don't have your defensive anchor, you're not going to win many games, and that's what eventually happened to the Lakers tonight. All right, let's get into some of your comments here. I know we got a ton of Laker fans that want to weigh in here, so let's take a look here real quick. Let's see what we got here. Poor defense against Ham next. Poor defense again. Ham next season must go. All right, I know I'm going to get a lot of people that are upset at Darvin Ham. I was reading some quotes from some people out there saying, how do you come out with this lineup in a game that's important? I saw a lot of people like pointing out the lines. LeBron's going to need rest. I mean, LeBron, who I'm going to get to in just a second, I purposely didn't get into his numbers, but LeBron played 36 minutes. He's going to need a breather every once in a while. He's going to. And the team, when LeBron's not in there, I don't care who's in there. When LeBron's not in there, there is no kind of natural free-flowing basketball where you feel confident about it. So those that want to go at Darvin Ham, please don't go at Darvin Ham in this game. Go at Darvin Ham over other games. Go at Darvin Ham for other things that have happened this year. Don't go at him when you're playing the Warriors, who shoot 26 of 41 from the three-point line. You don't have Anthony Davis. Those don't seem like those connect to me. All right, let's see what else we got here. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of this. Just Laker fans upset that AD wasn't able to go. Let's see what we got here. Old man Braun got his under the weather butt out there and played better than his younger teammates. What's happening here? Yeah, probably going to get a lot of that. All that winning for absolutely nothing. Well, I think that winning probably gave them some type of confidence. I'm assuming that no matter what the scenario is, if they're healthy, they can beat anybody. So we'll see if that pays dividends down the road. Our defense is so bad, it's actually crazy. The defense is basically completely reliant on an anchor and a foundation of Anthony Davis. It's like trying to build a home and you don't pour a foundation of concrete. Yeah, the wood's just going to crumble. And that's what the Lakers basically are when Anthony Davis is not there. David Gomez. What's up, Laker fans? How are y'all feeling? Clippers clinched. Let's effing go. David, first off, let me just say I appreciate you guys getting a win against the Suns because we needed it. So indirectly tonight, you guys did something that the Lakers needed. So we appreciate that, David. That's number one. Number two, please be careful here. Be careful here. I'm not sure where the Clippers are going to go these playoffs. I'm really not. I actually don't have that much confidence in the Clippers at all. I'm looking forward to Clippers Dallas. I mean, I can't wait to go get my Mavs jersey. I can't wait. Just be careful. Just be careful there. I don't know if you want to do this right now. Like, get your squad to do something first. You know what I mean? I still appreciate you coming to hang out in the Laker postgame show, but we just really missed AD. It was deflating to our team. Plus, we got no calls. Not the same treatment. A lot of people asking why he was not able to go. I don't have an answer for you. All right. If this happens, Darvin's hand last game is good. I was thinking about this actually. It could be the last game at Crypto for the season. I was, once I finished the pregame show, our engineer there was the nicest guy. I've been working with him for years. He's like, hey, just in case, if I don't see you, great year. I'm like, wait a minute here. The hell's going on here? What are you talking about? Aren't we going to see each other next week? It's like, no, maybe not, depending on these final couple of games. And then if you're in the number 10 spot, you take 1 L, it's over. Or you're in the number 10 spot, you take 1 L in any of those final 2 games, it's over. So he's right about that. All right, see what else we got here from our people. Okay, this one I'm not going to defend. You're right on this. Ham doesn't call timeout. Down 6 becomes down 7. That time, I don't know if it was 17 at half, but they had a couple of moments where, why don't you use one of those timeouts? Another gigantic game, another D'Lo no-show. I was actually waiting for this. I was waiting for people to start kind of saying, like, hey, these are big games. Where's D'Angelo Russell? D'Lo's not a number 2. You know what I mean? D'Lo's not going to be the second best player on your team. Where D'Lo will shine the most, when the Lakers are in a position where everybody's healthy and he kind of can hide. And whether he hits that big 3 or he doesn't, he knows that AD's there, Bron's there, Austin Reeves is contributing, Rui's doing his thing as well. I think D'Lo's been great for pretty much almost the whole season. But asking D'Lo to be the man against the Minnesota Timberwolves without LeBron and without AD ain't happening. Obviously he's got a better shot of being the man in a game like this because LeBron is there, so not all the attention is on him, and he couldn't hit a shot. All right, let me get some more of these comments here. Mav Nation in the house. Alan, we are cooked. Well, I mean, Mavs Nation. If that's and I think that's going to be the matchup. Oh, that's a good first round series. I always believed in Kyrie. Always. All right, let's keep going here. I want to go into LeBron real quick. So Bron I kind of saved here on purpose. So LeBron doesn't play in that last game. I don't know what to tell you. Some people I know there's some Laker fans they love LeBron. I know there's some LeBron fans that he'll never do anything wrong, and they'll cheer for him whether he's in Cleveland, Miami, or whether he's playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. And then I know there's other Laker fans that are not that crazy about LeBron, or other NBA fans that are sick of LeBron because he's in his 21st season and he's got a way of always being in the news and everything else, all that stuff. Whatever your feelings are, to be honest with you, I don't really have an emotion one way or the other. The man didn't play on Sunday. He's freaking 39 years old, and he's still out there, still trying to carry a team against a Golden State Warriors team without Anthony Davis. Like, the dude is he's a basketball player. That's it. Nothing more. Forget all the other stuff. Don't associate any. Just look at LeBron on a basketball floor. He didn't play in the last game on Sunday. 33 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, 14 to 22 from the field. I don't know what else he's supposed to do. He did what he can, but kind of all for nothing, to be honest with you. He's going to try to do his part, but ultimately at the end of the day, the Lakers basically need almost everything to go perfect in these last couple of games. They need some help from other teams. And then they need freaking Anthony Davis in the lineup. That's what they need. They don't have Anthony Davis. I'm not really sure where the Lakers go from here. They got to have AD in there. Okay, what does this loss do to the Lakers in the standings? What does this loss do to the Lakers in the standings? Here's where we are on the Lakers. We're going to look at this together because there are a lot of different scenarios that can play out. And I also want to look at the strength of schedule as well. Typing in a couple things here because I want to look at all the different scenarios still available for the Lakers. Okay, let me share my screen here real quick with you. So this is where we are on the standings. Close this a little bit, make it tighter here. By the way, did Giannis get hurt? Is that what I saw? Giannis got hurt? What a freaking disaster season for the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, here's where we are in the standings. So Lakers lose right here, 46-35. Little bit of help from the Lakers. I mean, of the 4 teams that we're watching around the Lakers, 2 of them won tonight, 2 of them lost. Golden State obviously beat the Lakers. The Pelicans, I want to say, beat Portland. Sacramento was up big, lost to the Thunder. And Phoenix, man, I don't get Phoenix. I got no idea what Phoenix is. Remember, Phoenix was a team I always thought was going to be the team that collapsed. They won a couple games. Now they've lost a couple games. They are a confusing team. And the games that they should have won, or at least split, were the Pelicans at home and were the Clippers at home. They got Clippers again tomorrow coming up. They were down in that Clippers game 35-5, something like that, 30-5 or 35-5, whatever it was. They ended up making a run. I think they got down to 7 in the fourth quarter, but they ended up losing the game. But here's where we are. Lakers right now don't have the tiebreaker against the Warriors. Don't have the tiebreaker against the Sacramento Kings. What's bad about that is these are the teams closest to them. They don't have the tiebreaker with. The good news for the Lakers, have the tiebreaker on the Suns, and they still have one more game against the Pelicans. Okay? So as of right now, a half-game lead over the Golden State Warriors. Sacramento, I think Sacramento is going to stay in front of them. I think Sacramento, I was looking at it, and I'll show you guys in just a second. Well, let's actually take a look here. Let's take a look at who they're playing because this will kind of help here. But that shows you where the Lakers are as far as the standings go. Let me get share one more thing here. I want to share Tankathon, which is pretty freaking cool. Tankathon does. They make our lives a lot easier. So here's Tankathon. Here's where we are with the teams that are remaining. So Phoenix, 3 games left. Minnesota, Clippers, Sacramento. Minnesota, Clippers, and Sacramento. And I could tell you where Phoenix is. All 3 of those games are on the road. All 3 of them are on the road. Clippers, Kings, and Timberwolves all on the road. Basically, you need Phoenix to lose out. You need the Lakers to win out, and the Lakers could be in front of the Phoenix Suns because they have the tiebreaker. If the Phoenix Suns win any of those 3 games, the Lakers mathematically cannot pass the Phoenix Suns. The one game that I'd be a little bit worried about that I think is something just to keep in mind, but the one game that I'd be a little bit worried about is that last game against Minnesota if Minnesota's not playing for anything. So keep that in mind. Frankly, I think the Clipper game tomorrow, Clippers might not be playing for anything tomorrow against Dallas, or maybe they're still a little, or Clippers Suns. Clippers might have locked it up. I don't know if they've locked it up completely, the number 4 spot, but I know they're 2 games up. And Clippers still have 3 games. Yeah, but they're playing Utah. They're playing Houston. Yeah, they're going to wrap it up. Clippers are going to end up with that number 4 spot. So that's what Phoenix has left. So that just kind of shows you there. New Orleans. Okay, let's look at New Orleans. The only thing I don't show on Takeathon is if these games are home or on the road. So I'm just going to pull that up as well. So they're at Sacramento tomorrow. Then they're at the Golden State Warriors. And then they got a game against the Lakers where they host the Lakers. So, again, actually for the Pelicans, 3 tough games for the Pelicans. And all the Pelicans have to do is win one of any 3 of those final games, and they're mathematically in front of the Lakers. So keep that in mind as we're talking about some of these teams. All right, let's see what some of these other teams have. Sacramento. So because Sacramento has the tiebreaker, look, they got New Orleans, they got Phoenix. Even if they lost both of those games and they just beat the Portland Trailblazers, it's 2. No, I think they got to go 2-1. So those are their last 3 games. And this is assuming Lakers win out. Lakers got obviously New Orleans and Memphis left. Don't worry about this Memphis game. There's nothing there. Memphis isn't playing anybody. Golden State's got one against the Pelicans and then Portland and Utah. So everybody's got a little something. Everybody's got a little something going on. It's not like it's a walk in the park for everybody. But the Lakers clearly have not helped themselves these last couple of games. What's crazy is if they would have just, had their guys, kind of imagine the spot the Lakers would be in right now. They would legitimately be fighting for number 6. Instead, what they're probably going to end up with is probably one of those 9 or 10 spots. And, I mean, we'll see what happens, but there's a good chance that they can end up with one of those 9 or 10 spots and have to win 2 games just to get in the playoffs. And tomorrow, keep an eye out for Minnesota at Denver. If Denver wins that game, then Denver is, obviously trying to put themselves in a position where they could lock up that number 1 seed. So you could have 2 games just to get to the playoffs, so you have to win on the road. And then you got Denver waiting for you saying, okay, well, we'll play whoever. So those are your scenarios right now in the standings, and those are your scenarios right now for the Lakers as well. Real fun, isn't it? Well, we do that Saturday where I was boxing and jabbing and I was kickboxing and everything else. And then, a couple days later, we're all sitting here mourning like the world's about to end. The world's it's not about to end, but I think we could all bitch and complain for a little bit. Okay, where's the game tomorrow? They don't have it up here. All right, I'll find that. All right, a couple more comments here. Let's get some more comments here going. Ham shouldn't do a press conference at the game. It just makes it worse. I'm not kidding. I was actually getting genuinely frustrated. I heard everyone talk about Draymond Green. Everybody. Everyone wouldn't stop talking about Draymond Green. I'm like, okay, if you're going to complain about Draymond, then go out and guard him. Or you could just say, look, that was our strategy. We lived and died by it, but we didn't lose because Draymond hit a few threes. We lost because the Golden State Warriors couldn't miss a shot, and they scored 134 points, and Anthony Davis didn't play. Draymond didn't help, but Draymond wasn't the only reason. It's a good comment here. LeBron doesn't get nearly the love he deserves from Lakers Nation. He puts it all out there. I don't disagree with you on that. I mean, you don't have to like Bron personally. You might not have to like Bron's political stances or whatever. I mean, whatever it is that you don't like about Bron. But if you think that this dude doesn't lay it all out on the line every single night, I don't know what to tell you. Or if you just want to try to compare him to past Lakers, it's an unnecessary game to play. Just appreciate the man. Tonight, he's doing everything that he can. Now, is he a good defender? No, not anymore. Picks his spots. Were there times in the game today where he literally chose to argue with a ref rather than go back and play defense? 1,000%. That's always frustrating. Then Clay hits a 3 and he's still complaining. So that's not fun. All right. Slee, Phoenix can win one of those games, and we own tiebreakers since we are 2 behind them. Yes, you're right. You're right about that. Yeah, I was getting a little confused here with some of my tiebreakers here. A lot of tiebreakers going on. Okay. Quick shout out, Underdog Fantasy, proud partner here of Hoops Talk. They're making it happen here, and I greatly appreciate their partnership. I got my picks that I'm going to do. Obviously, we've been doing this now all season long, so you guys have a pretty good idea of how this works. if you sign up on Underdog Fantasy, you download the app or just go on the website, whatever you do. I'm on the website. I kind of like walking through with you guys. I do. Once you sign in, make sure you put that code in HoopsLA, and they're going to match your first deposit of up to $100. So if you put $50 in, you're going to have 100 in your account. You put $100 in, you can have 200 in your account. So you kind of play with their money here. At least they'll match that first deposit of up to $100. All right, here's the cool thing. I go pick 'em, I go pregame, and I go NBA. So which game do I want to take here? Let's go Sacramento, or let's go San Antonio, OKC. That's the game I'm going to take for tomorrow. Let's do Shea. Let's see, I don't get Wemby. So I'll go Shea on this one, and then I'll do Luka on this one. So basically you pick two players, and all you got to do is pick higher or lower. Shea's number is 27.5 points. I'll go higher. And Luka's number is 30.5 points at Miami. I'll go lower. It's a second of a back-to-back. You know what? Shea's a second of a back-to-back too. Yeah, I'll go lower in that one. I'll go lower on both of them. Put $20 in. Got a chance to win 60. I hit confirm here. It will tell me that my picks are good to go. And like I said, if you play daily fantasy sports, we greatly appreciate you guys support the channel and use that code HoopsLA. All right, I got some more comments that I want to read here. So let's read some of these comments, and then I'm going to preview the game against the Memphis Grizzlies coming up. I'd rather miss the playoffs than endure 4 more games of Who's Your Daddy? 0 chance of beating Denver after 2 wars. 2 wars, talking about the 2 playing games. Kratos, number 1, thank you very much for the super. I appreciate that. I couldn't disagree more. I'll tell you why I couldn't disagree more. First off, the only thing of having no shot is if you don't even get to the dance. So if you don't get to the dance, that's literally the only way that you have no shot at making any noise in the playoffs. And I'm not going to tell you, I get it. I understand it, that the Denver Nuggets have owned the Lakers, have absolutely owned the Lakers. So let's not, try to pretend that. But let me just play out a scenario. I'd rather be in the playoffs, and anything can happen once you're there. What if Jared Vanderbilt does come back and he's healthy? And you know what? We just got kind of our full squad. What if Anthony Davis and LeBron James go crazy in one game at Denver and you come back to LA and the series is tied 1-1? What if, you just never know. We've seen this in playoffs and in sports all the time. Anything can happen. Anything. All you're asking to do is just get in. And once you're in, anything can happen. So I get what you're saying. I know the Lakers have been embarrassed by the Denver Nuggets, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm trying to get in by any means necessary. So that's the way I look at it. But I appreciate the super. All right, let's see what else we got here. A lot of comments tonight, which I'm not surprised. A lot of comments when the Lakers lose. We had a great chance. Got to be healthy. I mean, AD, man. If he's not out there, you got no shot. You got no shot. We have a bunch of tall athletes, and we couldn't stop 26 threes. It's what makes them dangerous, Any game, especially, and I'm sure they feel this way as well, all they got to do is just be in one game in the play-in. They can knock anybody off for one game. I still think Lakers beat them in a 7-game set. One game, they could beat anybody. Denver will probably sweep this team again. Could happen. All right, let's see if I can find one more comment here. Couple more here. Need a defensive big off the bench for next year. I think we actually underestimate sometimes just how good that team was in 2020. The team was stacked. LeBron, Anthony Davis. You had Kuzma, KCP, Alex Caruso. You had Rajon Rondo, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee. You had Markieff Morris. Man, Danny Green. It's a freaking good team. And they definitely had big men that were coming off the bench. No question about it. That was a very, very impressive team. Okay. Next game coming up for the Lakers. Lakers are taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. When I tell you Memphis has given up on the season, Memphis has really, really given up on the season. I was looking at them before I got started here, so I was just kind of prepping here a little bit. Their last game they played was against the Spurs, okay? Let me read off all the players that did not play in this game, okay? Desmond Bane. By the way, Taylor Jenkins said there's a good chance that he won't play the rest of the season. Jaren Jackson Jr., it's a good chance he won't play the rest of the season. So both of those players didn't play. Jake LaRavia, Lamar Stevens, John Concher, Luke Kennard, Santi Aldama, Vince Williams Jr., Marcus Smart, Derrick Rose, Zaire Williams, John Morant. These are all the players that are not playing. Yuta Watanabe, John Concher, I think I mentioned. These are all the players that are not playing. I know some of them are season-ending injury. I get all that. But even the other players, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., last time Lakers played Memphis, those guys were in there. All of them are gone. Every single one of them. So none of these guys, the Memphis Grizzlies have decided and made a business decision. We're going to try to lose as many games as possible. And then wherever we are in the standings is what we're going to take our chances with. I'm going to see how close to the bottom that they are, because they're going to be trying to get a draft pick. So they got 6 teams in front of them that have a worse record. They'll end up being the 7th worst team in the NBA. And strategically, they have no interest in winning like any of these teams at the bottom. They just don't. They're going to try to get a high draft pick and call it a day. And next year, the Memphis Grizzlies will probably be good again because they got a lot of good players led by John Morant. So next game for the Lakers is a layup, should be a layup, will be a layup. Lakers will, obviously try to take advantage of that. But the bigger question is just going to be what everybody else is doing in front of them. Because by the time you get to Sunday, we know this with the Lakers as far as their record goes. We know the Lakers will go into that last game against the Pelicans. They're going to go in 46-35. There'll be 11 games over 500. And then the question is just going to be, what did the Pelicans do before that last game? What did Phoenix do? What did Sacramento do? And what did Golden State do? They only have one more game between now and by the time they get to Sunday. So a couple days off. They'll play the Memphis Grizzlies. They'll beat the Memphis Grizzlies. They'll fly to New Orleans, and they'll have one game to figure it out and see where the Lakers are at. So in the past, it was don't worry about the other teams and just keep winning. Now it's worry about the other teams and try to win. So that's where the Lakers are sitting, and certainly tonight did not go as planned. Lakers lose to the Warriors 134-120. Laker fans, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I appreciate you guys spending a little over 40 minutes with me here. Lakers lose. I'll be back. We'll see. Maybe I do something tomorrow, just kind of depending on what the games are. Maybe Thursday as well. I know I'll have a pregame video. Sammy will handle that coming up for Friday's game. So we'll do that as well. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, Laker fans. Thank you. And we'll get back with you guys here soon. Thanks, Laker fans. Have a good rest of your night.